Hey guys, I'm Zach Bowles, and this is my partner and fiance, Andrew Sartori, and we're excited to be joining you guys live. So today we're going to be talking about lessons from our life, recovering from a bad day. So when we aren't feeling well, it's really easy to fall into a negative attitude or a negative energy, and it can really start to consume us. Sometimes, hey Bill, how's it going? Sometimes the way we're feeling, whether we're tired or grumpy or just not feeling great, it can really affect how we show up. It can put us in a bad mood and really determine our experience for the entire day. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Robin. Hey, Robin. Good to see you. Long time no see. And I wanted to ask some of you guys watching, and also if you're joining us live or catching the replay, hey, Robert, please feel free to give us some thumbs up. Type hi down below so we can see who is watching while we're filming this. And I wanted to ask you guys that are watching, whether it's live or the replay. Hey, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Who here has ever been feeling sick or feeling tired or feeling grouchy and allowed that to really affect your attitude for the entire day? Type yes down below if that's something that you've experienced. I know it's something that I've experienced. In fact, yesterday, hey, Jay Bishop, good to see you, man. In fact, yesterday, hi, Robert, this is something that I experienced a great deal of. Because when we're in pain, it's really easy to slip into victim energy or, to kind of feel sorry for ourselves and let that really affect how we show up. And something that you guys may or may not know about me, Jeremy says yes, Robert says yes. It's understandable. One of my favorite things to do here in Austin, and it has just been hot here in Austin lately, is to go swimming and to lay out at a nude beach that we have here in Austin called Hippie Hollow. It's one of my favorite spots. And in fact, I went there with some buddies over the weekend, and it was interesting. I applied a lot of sunscreen, believe it or not, but I didn't apply it everywhere. I kept putting my swimsuit back on, because I was laying out naked and swimming naked. And I was putting my swimsuit back on so that it wasn't awkward for a buddy of mine to rub lotion on my back, but I didn't remember to put the sunscreen everywhere. And needless to say, my butt is about as red as a tomato. And it's been extremely painful. And when I woke up yesterday, I felt that pain. I was feeling really achy, and it really affected how I showed up the entire day. Hey, Art. Hey, Robbie. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, so I was in a lot of pain, a lot of physical pain, and it really kind of put me in a bad mood. It's kind of embarrassing to admit this because I'm a life coach, but I do get triggered from time to time, and I'm not always on my top game. Hey, Chris, good to see you. So instead of a peach, you now have a tomato, pretty much, yeah. So where the sun doesn't shine, I got a bad sunburn, and it really, it put me in a negative energy. And so I usually do a really productive, positive morning ritual in the mornings. I usually meditate and I do gratitude journaling and stuff. But since I was kind of pissed off and didn't even want to sit down to meditate because my butt hurt so bad, I skipped all that stuff. And I kind of just let myself fall into this cycle of having this negative energy. And it really caused me to feel really cranky. And Andrew and I work together, as you may or may not know. And we were having a meeting and discussing some things, working on a project, and Andrew was just giving me some good feedback. But because I was in that negative energy, that negative mindset, I took it really personal and I felt attacked, and I started feeling victim energy, feeling sorry for myself, and I kind of took that out on Andrew. It probably wasn't too fun to deal with, was it?
No, it wasn't.
And that's understandable. I don't blame you a bit. And so I was really just kind of feeling sorry for myself and acting out in aggression, and I was pouty and definitely not a great teammate, not a great partner, and I'm glad that I can recognize that today.
So that happened, and I'll kind of share my experience. So first of all, he came home super sunburned and
bright red.
And I felt sad, but I also kind of, I knew it was your fault. But I did my best to not say, oh yeah, look what, you deserve that or anything like that. I tried to be really kind and nice about it and be supportive. But yes, the next morning I knew he was in pain, and I was concerned that, oh great, what's gonna happen now? And I heard him say, oh, I can't do my journaling today. I can't do my tapping because my face hurts too much. And in my mind, I'm just thinking like, oh God, that means he needs to do it even more. And a big part of me wanted to literally try to nag him to say, no, you have to meditate. You have to do your journaling. Just because selfishly, I know when he does that stuff, he operates in a much better place. He's kinder to me. We have more productive days. And same with me too. If I do that, I'm happier, more grounded. And if I skip it, I'm not. And so I was having some fear that he was skipping it. But I just did my best to let it go and to not judge him and just move on with our day. And as the day progressed, though, he was still kind of grouchy. When I gave him some constructive feedback on something, it didn't go over very well. He took it personally.
Yeah.
And
got mad and said, I don't even want to do this anymore, basically.
Yeah. And so that just kind of continued on, and we work together, so that can bring some challenges, and I had a lot of stuff going on that day outside of just talking with him. And so
it probably added stress to you, right?
Yeah, I was already feeling pretty overwhelmed with all the things I had to do that day, and then it was like, oh gosh, now more resistance from someone else. But hey TJ, good to see you. So the day continued on, and I just kind of felt like I was in a funk after that too, and eventually it got time to go to bed, and I just get into bed, and it literally felt like we were 100 miles apart, even though he was right next to me. And this is, we'll make another video about this another time, but we really are as lonely as we make our minds up to be.
Right.
Whether you're single, you're in a relationship, you're in bed with your partner, you have a long distance partner, or whatever. And so I just was feeling that, and it didn't feel good. And if you ever work with me, or my clients will tell you, I'm a big believer in how important it is to go to bed feeling as happy, as peaceful, as loved as possible. And this is whether you're single, you're in a relationship, or not. Thanks for all the hearts. I love seeing these hearts. Hey Edgar, good to see you. Hey Troy. So clearly I was not feeling super loved, positive, happy, and I wasn't happy about that. I was like, I don't want to go to sleep in this state. And so I just kind of verbalized, just like, wow, today just really was a crappy day. It feels like it sucked. And I was feeling some victim energy, like, okay, I lost today. And hey Vivek, and so Zach was so amazing though. So I didn't have the most positive energy when I said that. And Zach asked, he's like, oh, why? Why did you have a bad day? And so then I just started trying to think. I was like, I don't know. And then I actually thought about it, and I was like, well, I had amazing sessions with my clients, and those were great. I loved working with them. And then I talked to 2 other people who were inquiring about our services, and both of them are scheduling a 60-minute breakthrough session. So I was super excited about that. So I was like, well, why did today suck? Why do I feel so crummy? And then I guess it just became, well, yeah, I just have felt a little more disconnected. And then Zach said that too. Like, yeah, I'm not feeling very loved today. It felt like you were just on my case, on my ass. And that was really hard for me to hear, actually, to hear him say that. But I'm also well aware that, like, I have a sign on my office when I walk in. It says, be as kind to yourself and Zach as you are with everyone else. Mm-hmm. So I'm really aware that I am the hardest on myself than anyone else in the world, and then poor Zach here gets probably the second most hardness from me.
We both put up with things, you know?
Yeah, we're not perfect, but so Zach said, yeah, I felt like you were on my case, and part of me wanted to be defensive and say, what? No, that was strictly business related. You're taking it personal. How dare you turn that against me? But no, instead I listened, and I heard him. I said, oh, I hear that you're feeling that, and I'm sorry. I don't want you to feel that way.
Right.
It's not my intention to make you feel that way.
And that was really thoughtful of you. I really appreciate that, because yeah, it would have been so easy to feel defensive, because I had put up a wall pretty much that whole day. I was deep in my victim energy. I was in physical pain, and I let that give me almost like an excuse to not be my best self. And so yeah, there was like this invisible barrier when we were laying in bed. It did feel like we were miles apart, because I had not been showing up in a really great way. I was moody and pouty and just not my usual optimistic, peppy self. And even though I was in physical pain, it's no excuse to show up the way that I did. And I'm glad we had a little chat that night, because the next morning I woke up, and instead of choosing to have a repeat of yesterday, which did suck, it wasn't the best day. I decided to, and I still am sunburned and I'm still in pain. My under the waist area is very red and it hurts, but I chose to not have a repeat, not to let that affect how I'm showing up. And so I chose to shift my energy in a positive way. And I did my morning rituals. I did my gratitude journaling this morning, and I meditated, and I did my tapping to really release the negative energy. And we had our beautiful morning ritual where we talk about our dream life together and how wonderful it feels. And just the positivity of all those experiences just made me feel like my normal, authentic, happy self. And so I've showed up much more presently. And I mean, there's no difference in today and yesterday as far as the pain I was experiencing. The difference is my mind shift and how I chose to, and how I'm continuing to choose to not allow that to destroy my attitude. And I'm not feeling like a victim. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. And I'm not giving myself an excuse to show up in a shitty way, which I did pretty much all day yesterday. And it's kind of embarrassing to admit it. But yeah, I'm able to recognize such a big shift, and we've had such a productive workday today, and it's been such a positive experience.
Yeah, it really has. It's been a huge shift, and like last night we made the point to talk and connect, and we both went to bed feeling content and loved and peaceful. Mm-hmm. So that's really when it started, and then this morning Zach came to me and approached me and just owned it all. And he said, you know what, I'm sorry I allowed myself yesterday to get into a victim state, and I took things personally that I really didn't need to. You were just only trying to help us and help our business.
Right.
And completely owned it. And that's been one of my favorite things about being in a relationship with you, is that this is something Zach's way better at doing than I am, is swallowing his ego, swallowing his pride, and owning over mistakes, and apologizing. And when you did that, you completely owned it. Like, how can I not forgive you? How can I not just want to hug you and kiss you and feel loved? And so it completely changed everything, shifted all our mood, and it's also like when things like that do happen, it is a learning experience. So it's like, it's not for me to say, oh yeah, you were awful yesterday, how dare you. Zach had to trust me to not do that. Mm-hmm. And in the past, maybe I would have, when I didn't work on all my growth and stuff. But yes, Christopher says the truth always sets you free.
Right. That's a good point.
And so it's a big learning experience, and when things like that do happen, it means there's some kind of wound or challenge that needs to be healed. And because of that, and because we processed it and worked through it, it's like, I'm glad that happened yesterday.
Right.
A lot of great things have happened from it, actually. We were on our coaching call this morning with our coach and got some feedback on it, and because of that, we're going to make a really positive shift. And like there's opportunities that happened, and it's all good and great.
Right. Yeah, we're choosing to see that as an opportunity, as a learning experience, instead of where we could both be pissed off about yesterday and have resentments and be even further apart today. Instead, I chose to get out of that negative energy and join Andrew up here, and and so we're turning this into a positive experience, an opportunity for growth. And that's the big lesson for me, and the big lesson hopefully that we're sharing to you guys is no matter how you're feeling, we always have a choice. We can control our thoughts, and we can either fall into victim energy, which I have to admit, it felt kind of like indulging a little bit. I was indulging in my own self-pity. You know, I feel like my epidermis was just burnt to shit, and I was allowing that to, I watched 2 hours of TV yesterday instead of, getting some work done. And I allowed myself to just, justify my negative energy because I didn't feel good. And it's so easy to do that. But, I'm still feeling the same aftershocks of the sunburn today, but it's just a whole nother experience. And I'm feeling so much happier and so much more connected to you. And I'm so glad that we did have that talk last night and that we are experiencing such a positive connection today. And I'm just so grateful for you for being patient with me and so loving. And so hopefully you guys got some good stuff out of this. We love coming and sharing our stories with you.
Yeah, and one other thing is, like, when you are feeling grumpy or pissed off or whatever, that's literally the most important time to take care of yourself, to take care of your mindset, to give yourself some space, to journal, meditate. We'll talk more about it later, but do some tapping, emotional freedom techniques.
Yeah.
To bring yourself back up. The time when you least want to do stuff like that is when you can use it the most.
Absolutely. Hey, Steven, thanks for joining us. And this goes for you whether you're in a relationship, whether you're single. This determines how you show up, whether it's how you're showing up at your work, showing up with relationships, with friends. It's so easy to let something inside of you to just destroy how you show up. And I'm glad that we're able to kind of talk about the different shifts that you can have, because it's always up to you. And even though my skin's still hurting, it doesn't feel the same because I'm focusing on positive things. I'm not focusing on the negative. And that's what's made such a big difference for me today.
Yes. So absolutely. So we are really glad that you're watching this, and we hope you're getting some great value out of this, and that you actually are able to implement some of this to help improve your life and your success in whatever area you might feel stuck in. And if you would like to reach out to us for some support, if you're feeling stuck in a certain area and you could use more confidence to break through that, definitely reach out. We'd love to talk to you.
It's true, because if we allow ourselves to, we can get stuck in that victim energy, not just for a few hours or for a day, but it can define who we are and how we see the world. And it creates so many limits to our possibilities. So like Andrew said, if something we said resonated with you, please feel free to shoot us some comments, give us a thumbs up, or reach out to us personally. We'd love to chat more about ways that you can shift out of any type of victim or anger energy. And we want to thank you for joining us today, whether you're catching us live or watching the replay. We always enjoy sharing our experiences with you, and we look forward to joining you live again soon and connecting all over again. We love you guys.
Bye for now.